Hi everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to the session. If you can let me know that I am audible and visible, that would be great. Kindly confirm once here. All good to go? So, those watching me for the first time, my name is Niharika John Mehra and I am your faculty of English. और मेरी क्लासेस यहाँ पर रेगुलरली होती हैं 1:30 PM हम प्रैक्टिस करते हैं एंड 8 PM जो क्लास होती है वो हमारी होती है एडिटोरियल की. So 8 PM क्लास जो है it's Monday to Saturday and in this 8 PM editorial class we cover everything right from understanding, that is the skimming part, and taking it through the vocabulary, grammar, every single thing is covered in this session. Okay, apart from this, we have classes on our main channel also, 3 days a week there and 3 days week 1:30 PM per class यहाँ होती है. Because of uh, some errors, we weren't able to start at 1:30 today. थोड़ा सा लेट हो गए आज हम, but yeah, that's our daily schedule. तो जल्दी से आप लोग लाइक और शेयर कर दो. इफ़ यू आर न्यू टू दिस चैनल, मेक श्योर टू सब्सक्राइब बिकॉज यहाँ पर आपको काफ़ी टू द पॉइंट एग्जाम ओरिएंटेड सेशंस मिलते हैं. नो ओवरफ्लो ऑफ सेशंस, नो ओवरवेलमिंग नंबर ऑफ सेशंस एंड ऑल. प्रिसाइज जितना नीडेड है, दैट्स व्हाट यू गेट ओवर हियर. ओके, एंड yeah, there are regular sessions for you, so do not miss out on that. Okay, it costs nothing to subscribe. हाँ, आपको अगर फ्री पीडीएफ चाहिए है सो चेक आउट द डिस्क्रिप्शन. लिंक ऑफ अ टेलीग्राम ग्रुप इज मेंशन देयर जहां से आपको फ्री पीडीएफ बहुत आसानी से मिलती है. वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट विद पैराजम्बल क्वेश्चंस. मैं पहले ही आपको बता चुकी हूँ हाउ डू वी सॉल्व इट. अगर आपने नहीं देखा है ऑन अ मेन चैनल देयर इज दिस वीडियो हाउ टू सॉल्व पैराजम्बल. चेक इट आउट. यू कैन स्टार्ट सॉल्विंग दिस वन. सभी सेंटेंसेस अरेंज करें. यू विल गेट 3.5 minutes. have to answer here after arrangement. Complete arrangement आपको यहाँ आंसर करना है. 1 more minute to go. Answer is C, E, C, A, B, F, D. So, again, please remember we follow two major rules. First is inverted pyramid. We narrow down to details. हम broader चीजें पहले बोलकर फिर specific चीजों पर आते हैं, and then we have pairs. So we always try to figure out one or two pairs at least. Okay. Let's read and mark some highlight and some keywords. उसे highlight रखना है अपने mind में. Builders often omit the 13th floor from their floor plans. Many pedestrians go well out of their way to avoid walking under a ladder. ये किसके एग्जाम्पल्स है? क्यों बोला गया है? It is out of the blue. देखते हैं क्या लगाएंगे. While it's widely recognized that superstitions like these are not rational, many persist guiding the behavior of large groups of people even today. तो यहाँ पे while that superstitions like these, तो सारे superstition बता दिए होंगे, फिर these बोलेंगे. दो superstition तो मुझे ए में मिल जाते हैं. Still hold on. Ancient Roman leaders once made decisions about important events such as when to hold election etc. based on the presence of light of patterns of birds. ये भी एक example है किसी चीज का. Hold on. Superstitions can be defined as a kind of blind faith or irrational belief usually founded on ignorance or fear etc. So ये जो है superstitions कैसे define होते हैं वो बात बताई जा रही है. A recent analysis tries to explain how superstitious beliefs can become established practices in a society and become a part, apostrophe s नहीं आएगा, become a part of social norms. तो ये एक इंट्रोडक्शन है क्योंकि एनालिसिस इसके ऊपर करा गया. अब आप सुपरस्टिशन को, सुपरस्टिशियस बिलीव्स को समझाते रहो. दैट्स हाउ आई नो ई इज द फर्स्ट वन. बी इट द डेवलप्ड वेस्ट और द डेवलपिंग ईस्ट, मतलब वर्ल्ड के पार्ट्स की बात हो रही है. A belief in superstitions and their presence is a common thread that binds the two together. तो F में और D में जो बात हो रही है, it's like how people follow और कहीं के भी हो they follow. वो वाली बात who follows वो है D और F में. C और A में और B में, which is a strong trio here, C, A और B. इसमें there are examples of superstitious beliefs. पहला बिलीफ एंशियंट रोमन लीडर्स जो करते थे. बिल्डर्स ऑफन 13 फ्लोर नहीं बनाते. दीज आर ऑल एग्जांपल्स ऑफ बिलीव्स. तो सी और ए में मैं जब समझा देती हूँ, आई एग्जाम्पलीफाई सम ऑफ द बिलीव्स. देन इन बी आई से व्हाइल दीज सुपरस्टिशंस आर नॉट रैशनल, मैनी परसिस्ट, अभी भी लगातार चले आ रहे हैं. सो आफ्टर आई से मैनी परसिस्ट आई नीड टू जस्टिफाई. कहाँ परसिस्ट कर रहे बताओ? Be it west or east, a belief is in superstitions and practices is a common thread. This is how from B we go to F. और D जो है, we are, though it's a definition, it's actually giving a closure कि superstitions exactly है, इतना जब फैल रहा है तो है क्या. So that's the kind of thing जो आप आखिरी के अलावा बीच में कहीं बोल नहीं सकते. So that's how your answer is. That's how आपका आंसर बनता है. If you have any doubt in any pair, in any place, you can ask. I can explain. I'll give you 30 seconds if you want to ask. Okay? जल्दी से टाइप करो. 30 seconds में तो मुझे यहाँ पहुँच ही जाना चाहिए आपका comment. Looks like everything is clear. For this one, only 3 minutes, okay? Please start doing this. अगला करो. You cannot avoid the question because It's tough. You cannot avoid practicing it because you think, "अरे रहने दें, छोड़ क्या जाएंगे." This is the time where you have to prepare everything possible, and take a risk of skipping questions in exam. Why D is not? Good question, Anushka. Let's finish 3 minutes of this question, and then before the answer of this one, I will explain. That was actually the tricky part of the question, the trickiest. Why? Where to put D? Okay. So a question आया है, and of course it's a very valid question that why D is not the first. The thing is that if I use D in the very first position, superstitions can be defined, not are defined. So this is one of the ways we are trying to explain this. Okay, so it's not a direct definition. Point number one. अगर are defined होता तो पहले बोल. Now, when I am saying this, that they can be defined as a kind of blind faith, irrational belief, usually founded on ignorance, fear, by obsessive reverence for omens, etc. So, because rest of them were quite in flow, where we start with there is an analysis that explains how beliefs can become practices. So, we are explaining what are the practices. Then we are talking about F and D, where the practices prevail. तो क्योंकि उसमें F तक में क्योंकि we get that kind of a flow, D में जो can be है because of the use of modal verb, it becomes better fit for the end. क्योंकि अगर end नहीं होगा तो first होगा और E के पहले D लगा देंगे अगर if you use D before E, then everything has to be speculation, not what everything is already done. So because of the possibility that can carries, better to put D at the end. As we all try to adapt to the new normal, there is no better time to talk about mental strength. Okay? But what, with respect to what the new normal? All it takes is identifying specific strategies and practice them daily. Okay, this is like a lesson, ना? एक सीख जैसा है. All it takes is identifying specific strategies and doing this. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought many changes. Yes, this is the beginning. Fortunately, it's possible to get your brain in shape just like a muscle and body. ठीक है, mind और muscle की बात हो रही है. While working out and keeping our bodies healthy is important, it is critical to exercise our minds. So T और S दोनों mental और physical well-being की बात कर रहे हैं. In T, we are saying that while body is important, mind is important too. S बोलता है fortunately it is possible to get a brain in shape like a muscle in a body. तो T और S साथ में आएंगे, T पहले आएगा. Now I don't know where to put P or Q. Now you can see many changes, including remote working, information overload, etc. This is the new normal. So if I am saying the new normal, उसका explanation I want immediately before it. So R and P pair, T and S pair. अब आप सोच लो, यहाँ पे एक बार Q लगा के देख लो, आखिरी में Q लगा कर देख लो, where it makes more sense. बीच में लगाएंगे तो all it takes का जो push है वो नहीं मिलेगा. So Q better be put at the end, because after explaining everything about mind body requirement, all it takes is to have some strategies and practice them. That's how you focus on health and mind both. So Q is actually helping me to have a solution for what I am mentioning in TNS. इस वजह से आंसर RP, TS और Q है. Okay, any doubt, anyone? Let's do an RC. Okay, so this RC, I'll not put a timer for this because already screen बहुत ही हमारी cover हो जाती है. It is in two parts. Okay, this RC is in two parts. So I'll show you both the parts. Okay, I'll give you enough time to go through both the passage, both the parts of the passage, and हम सारे question back to back करेंगे. ठीक है? So please go ahead, start reading. You have to answer all the questions back to back. सारे answers आप एक साथ दोगे and then I'll explain. Answer is C for the first one. अच्छे से read करो. You will be able to find out answer very easily. All you have to do is skim and try and figure out the answer. It'll be an interesting topic, by the way. Not that boring. SB. Answer is D. I know. Lots to read. Keep the bullet points from each para of the passage. When the question is asked, you only go to a specific para and answer. अरे तो बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस प्लस like taking time. Friends, ठीक है याद आ गई सब. For this, I don't need to show you the second part or the first part, just word which is answer is A. The second one. So in exam, you always do these questions first, okay? Okay. So the closest, now these were the questions. I'll explain you the. Which of the following is the closest to the word flaunt as used in the passage? So flaunt is to display, to show off, and there you go. वो D आपका answer. Which was the opposite of the word fascinating? Fascinating, something super interesting. You would want to explore that more and all. इसका opposite है mundane. Okay. So these were the vocabulary based questions जो कि आपको सबसे पहले कर लेने होते हैं एग्जाम में. Okay. Now we'll start with understanding कि आप लोगों को when you have such a lengthy passage which you will get in exam. Okay. So you need to be all prepared with your strategy. So I can see there are para breaks. Okay. यहाँ तो मैंने बहुत ही clearly mark भी किया आपके लिए, but ठीक है. Picture a mummy, probably imagine a lurching horror movie villain lumbering out of a tomb, etc. The Natural History Museum's new exhibition reveals Egyptians made mummies of loved ones, exotic animals, and even pets as a means of communicating with the gods. So, what is the exact meaning of it? And preserving the body to journey through the afterlife. So, यहाँ पर what do we get to see? कि the Egyptian beliefs about life after that. ये आपका आंसर भी था. ओके. तो उसका एक सिग्नल यही मिल जाता है, बट अभी आगे पढ़ेंगे. These mummies and artifacts can serve as a valuable portal into the Egyptian belief system. So second para is about the belief system. First para was the introduction of mummy. So Tenkonsu, a female human mummy, displaying gallery, and sarcophagus in which she was buried are covered with inscription and images that convey details of the beliefs about life after death. तो रोमन के बारे में तो ऐसे बात थी ही नहीं. लाइफ आफ्टर डेथ था, बहुत क्लियरली सी आंसर था. The detailed paintings अभी और भी है. Perhaps the most interesting thing was discovering the way the pictures actually fit together. They aren't a compilation but a narrative. It's a story. The detailed paintings that wrap around outside of these sarcophagus and continue into interior show the stages of Egyptian afterlife. These were designed not as static objects but as agents of resurrection. तो belief system को explain करा जा रहा है. आगे का मैं आपके लिए पढ़ूंगी while I explain you the second question. So all you have to do is हर पैरा में क्या क्या main बात है, that's what you are supposed to keep in mind. So this was the next question that asked about which of the following was or were a stage of the Egyptian afterlife as depicted on the coffin of Tenkonsu. Okay. See, everything about this coffin is mentioned here. If I go to the third para, it says perhaps even more than human mummies, dozens of animal mummies on display, ranging from tiny crocodile to enormous bull, most fully illustrate the importance of mummification. Egyptians' religious ritual. If you go to church, you are Catholic, you light a candle, that is your offering. Egyptians had animal mummies. So यहाँ पे animal mummies का एक what do you get is the intro part जो later on explain करा गया है. So from this I see कि इस coffin का mention तो केवल इस paragraph में है. The journey through the netherworld जो है उसको अगेन आफ्टर लाइफ के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बोला जाता है, दैट इज मेंशन हियर. एंड मूवमेंट फ्रॉम डेथ टू जजमेंट, दैट इज मेंशन हियर. जर्नी अक्रॉस द रिवर स्टिक्स, इतना स्पेसिफिक नाम आपको दिया होता so you would clearly see it. ओके, वो आपको देखने में ज़्यादा ढूंढने में टाइम नहीं मिलता, तो थर्ड वाला नहीं दिया था. ओके, एनी डाउट? है ना, नेदर वर्ल्ड, रीबर्थ, सब कुछ यहाँ पे आपको दिया हुआ है. सो दिस वाज अ क्वेश्चन वेरी स्पेसिफिकली आस्क्ड फ्रॉम अ पर्टिकुलर पैरा. आपको सब कुछ पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं थी. नाउ मूविंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, जब हम सेकेंड पार्ट और थोड़ा पढ़ेंगे, ठीक है. सो यहाँ पर एनिमल मम्मी का क्वेश्चन है. So if animal mummy ka question is given, you don't have to now go through these parts, right? According to the passage, on which of the following aspects do animal mummies throw light? पढ़ते हैं. So यहाँ पर we already know that there were some rituals and all they used to follow. Okay. Second part भी देखते हैं. What does it say? It says the array of animal mummies also tell us about the social class, Egyptian social class and status. आंसर इतने में ही आपको मिल जाता है ना. इजी क्वेश्चन था, डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन था ना. In the first part, in the first half, we didn't get to see anything about the real baboon mummy. That means ये मुझे यहाँ पर मिलने वाला है. Which of the following factors makes it unlikely that a real baboon mummy was created by the Egyptians? Okay. So, which of the following factors make it unlikely? इसमें से कौन सा नेगेटिव है? अनलाइकली दैट अ रियल ममी वाज क्रिएटेड बाय द इजिप्शियन. पहले बबून ममी के बारे में लिखा था. इट्स सो वियर्ड टू से दिस वर्ड अगेन. So legions of workshops created these tokens of pity by the dozen, with mummy industries often based around temple complexes to sell their wares to the worshipper. But recent advances in CT scanning have revealed an unexpected surprise that about many of these mummies, they are entirely empty. Baboons were really hard to come by, particularly in this time period, because they had to be imported from Africa and moved up to Nile River. So people would make fakes and say that there is a real baboon inside. Okay. So the reason, the factors why we know that real baboon mummy शायद ही होगी is because first of all there was baboons मिलते ही नहीं थे उस एरिया में. They were supposed to be imported and moved up. तो यही reason था why we can say that it's unlikely that there is a real mummy of baboon. Okay. Question. Story line अच्छी है. If you are interested, like you know, so you can go ahead and mark answer very easy. According to the passage, which of the following can be determined about human mummies using advanced scanning and forensic technique? Advanced scanning forensic technique का para is here. Age and sex of the corpses. Okay, so age and sex को पता कर सकते थे. It's clearly mentioned here. The social class of an individual. Okay, so again हमने पहले ही देख लिया था social class के बारे में, that from the array of animal mummies we can understand तो किस तरीके का social class था. It's also mentioned in the same para. दोनों ही तरीके से first and second आपका answer था. Which of the following can be inferred from the passage? Now, inferences, you don't have it directly, but you might have understood after reading properly. So, prior to the use of X-rays and CT scans, determining the age and sex was not possible. Advanced technologies were used to gain information. Getting an up-close look at bone tissues helps researchers determine age and sex. मतलब इसके through we can determine. That automatically means कि इसके पहले भी couldn't. तो first वाला infer कर सकते हैं. It was unlikely that an entire rare animal would be preserved in a mummy. That is the baboon का example. From that we know that rare animal का mummification was hardly possible. Horus was a god worshipped by the ancient Egyptians. So यहाँ पर why we can again get it, because the name, if it pops anywhere in the passage, you know that वहाँ पर ये possibility है ना? So that's how you know कि तीनों ही आप infer कर सकते थे. Okay, I hope all of this is clear. Any doubt? Sure. So that's it for this session. If you want the PDFs, please make sure to join the um, to join the Telegram. Link is in the description below. Okay.